Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have some very intriguing news in regards to the future of what Sony and basically the PlayStation 5 are going to be doing with all their literally billions of dollars in terms of acquisitions, future game plans, future things that actually go to add into like the PS Plus, PS Now, future games and future game companies and publishers, and just a lot of things all kind of mixed down in. And as well, there's actually a really nifty reward that Sony and PlayStation basically had a chance to go and get even for as of right now. So a lot of interesting things, a lot of cool things, and kind of quick, like just kind of giving overall the major ecosystem of what Sony actually is and all their kind of cool parts of it. And as I mentioned, a lot of this stuff kind of does go in time to the PlayStation Now, and PlayStation Plus subscriptions, and all that kind of good stuff I'll put together. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PS5 giveaway going. I'll be ending very soon. Amazon links down below for the PS5 disc, digital console controller, Twitter and Twitch stream as well, link down below. Sign up for Weeble, deposit $100, you guys go get free stock, free money. Go and base, you guys go buy $100 worth of any cryptocurrency. You guys go and get free Bitcoin. Let's go dive in the video itself. So I'm going to go, there's like an article over here that actually went very good in terms of all the details and all the things talked about. But I'm going to go skip the first half because it's kind of talked about the initial of like what Sony is, what PlayStation is, and kind of how these acquisitions could be potentially good. I think a lot of you guys out here can probably understand that if you're a company, the more things you buy, the more publishers you buy, the better. And the more, I'm sure you guys understand, for PlayStation, you just want to offer a better service to make more money. So we can kind of go skip ahead of that very first part, but just in case you guys can always creep on the article and stuff I'd be referencing. But the really cool thing when it comes to Sony is that all these little things and basic things they keep on buying and they work towards is a very involved ecosystem. You have things like even like cool like Sony Pictures. You actually have movies and TV shows being developed based on the video game IPs, which if you think about it, will have people going and seeing things like The Last of Us, and then they want to go play the game if they haven't played the game. Or same too as well with a few other things we'll show in a second. But it's all around really cool, so a lot of these things kind of go tie together, and the fact that Sony has like literally billions of dollars kind of goes and leads to a fact that we're going to probably have some really cool stuff happening throughout these next few years. So without further ado, let's go dive on into it. I hope you guys are all going to have a fantastic day. So kind of give you guys the quick, better recap, I would say. Sony, as of recently, has been doing a lot of really big acquisitions and involvements, as I just mentioned. There's a lot of really big key pillars over here, too, as well. So I'm going to go and mention these and kind of give you guys the rundowns, too, and how this kind of relates to the PS5 and blah. So Sony Music. So Sony definitely has a music brand, and it's actually been a very successful brand too as well. That's also had like a lot of problems back in the day. Same with even the PS4, PS3. There's little small hiccups that they want to go make a little bit better. So a big focus for them has been signing a lot of big contracts with big musicians, but then also giving them a lot of freedom to kind of go and make and be creative on whatever they want to go make in the first place, along with really good technology in terms of like developing, producing, and making music itself. They've actually done a really good job too with strategic acquisitions and have been signing some very big names of their brands, which actually is kind of a cool thing where Lil Nas X has actually been a part of it and has also basically been invested really big into Sony's music. But that also ties into the really nice things in terms of the PlayStation and also in terms of the PlayStation games, where if you have a PlayStation, you can actually go and utilize and use music. And we also even saw kind of leaks with Apple Music and Spotify being tied into the actual console itself. Very cool to see that next little step. But it also goes into really cool game production to go have the rights and licensings to go and utilize that music in various video games in the PS5, which is always very cool to go and see. And like, see how happy that was. And they also had Funimation now, which has actually been a very big pickup too as well with the recent legal battle. And this also once again ties into potential PS Now and PS Plus subscription services for the future to tie in and make your PS Plus subscription even better. So basically part of Sony Music is Funimation and Aniplex. Sony's anime brands that they have begun to push very hard, and as anime grows and the industry is quickly expanding, makes with the fact that Sony Pictures makes a lot of money through selling content and licenses out to streaming services. A natural area of growth for Sony has always been for anime too as well, because they already own Funimation, Aniplex, and they also now just recently got Crunchyroll too as well, which just makes them a huge powerful, like just basically distributor when it comes to all of their games too as well, which is very nice to go and see. So once again, that kind of goes and ties to like PS Now and PS Plus subscriptions. Sony Pictures is actually a even more intriguing one. So this is in a very good place where they actually release multiple movies that usually do well, with based like Spider-Man, Venom, Jumanji movies, which have actually all done really good. There's also retooled their animation studios and become one of the most beloved animation studios after Mitchell vs. the Machines, Into the Spider-Verse, which is amazing, and Vivio. The most interesting thing about Sony Pictures is that they make them kind of stand out from Hollywood, is that they have no interest in making a streaming service. But it's very funny to go and see, because they literally go and like they have enough content, I'd feel like, to go and produce that and make that, but instead they're more so working with deals, trying to go work with say like Disney Plus as well. We also probably saw some things with HBO and potentially even Netflix partnerships too as well to host up all these games. And once again, that kind of goes and ties in really coolly, because it'll have things like Netflix shows, kind of how we mentioned before, say like the Last of Us shows or like, the Uncharted shows, where they can go and literally go become a viral hit. Look at The Witcher. That just came out not too long ago. That was one of the top watched Netflix shows in general, which was very, very, very good in general. It's like these like online streaming subscription type shows. So it also kind of keeps people in the ecosystem, because even after that was actually released, after people were watching The Witcher show, a lot more people also picked up and played the game too as well. So it's kind of like a good ecosystem to kind of remind and kind of market, but also provide brand new, fresh entertainment to as well. It's also even done stuff like selling stuff to like Amazon and other various places too on top of that, which is very, very nifty too as well. And of course, PlayStation itself, which is kind of the big bread and butter for all of this. With PlayStation, the latest decade, Sony has strengthened its position as the most important piece of Sony, and with some necessary and well-placed management changes, like having new different types of actual managers, having Hermo Hulse as the head of PS Studios, Jim Ryan as the CEO. Basically, we've actually seen a lot of good benefits mixed on in. So we've also had a pretty big stride and exclusive content too on top of that, which would then allow them to more so focus on expansions and more so getting brand new studios and making more games than anything else kind of mixed on in. So even on top of those two as well, mergers and acquisitions will be one of the key points of this area, because there's a lot of big growth vectors that they could work into for PlayStation, which just means like if they could get a really, really good development team and they're able to go utilize them and have them make these really, really good groundbreaking games, then guess what? They're going to make money. Just at the end of the day, for how they're trying to go do over there. And so it's just really, really nice to go and see on top of that. And they also do get good content exclusivity, which once again would incentivize people to buy the PlayStation, keep their PlayStation Now and PS Plus subscriptions, and of course, play games and spend $70 on a video game, whatever it kind of comes out to as well. So it's kind of a cool, interesting thing to kind of compare that to in terms of Xbox and also for Sony Pictures. Because Sony Pictures is like, yeah, Amazon, yeah, HBO, yeah, Netflix, take our stuff, pay us money, we got you. But on the reverse for the PlayStation, they're like, Xbox, who cares? Nintendo, who cares? Let's just go and get as many people in our ecosystem and buying our brand new games too in the first place. Which is very, very intriguing over here too as well. Because a lot of people actually keep on saying that there's going to be a lot more major acquisitions on the way in regards to Sony and the PlayStation 5. Because they have a lot of money. They're sitting on a lot of money over here too. So let's go talk about that, because it's kind of the more, I think, probably intriguing stuff for you guys who want to care about the consoles. So historically, Sony has made a lot of acquisitions, which often forgotten that most PlayStation studios are one way or another acquired once upon a time. You've even seen some of these too as well recently with Blue Point and some other various big studios, which is huge. But most of the acquisitions are organic, essentially. So Sony needs to do it to grow in a certain area, or even from a need of securing its partners to advance them even further. Very rarely has Sony ever been aggressive with their acquisitions, which has kind of been noted. Like, we kind of see them, they make a custom game, it goes really well, and they're like, all right, we got you over there too on top of that. So some very, very big news as well. As we've seen this, Sony actually deposited $24 billion. Jesus. So some people actually seem to believe that this is because a large acquisition is in motion. Now, of course, this isn't true to our knowledge, but it is also a big fat too, because Sony likes to go keep their cash on hand to essentially go and make sure they have a really good, forward-focused budget. So showing good examples over here too as well. On Sony's cash on hand in 2019 was $25 billion. Sony's cash on hand for 2020, $30 billion. And then Sony's cash on hand was $44 billion in 2022 on top of that too as well. But it's interesting because we actually had a little bit of a quarter to ending in 2021 was actually a little bit lower too year over year. So it's very curious, because I feel like it's going to depend on how much money they actually want to go and spend and what they want to do. But some people are always kind of curious on will Sony be able to go and buy more and expand more and have more custom games and keep on acquiring more places? Because we all know Microsoft is a slightly overall bigger company, because Windows and all that type of stuff mixed on in, and Game Pass also keeps on printing money. But the one big thing that I think is very surprising is that people don't think they are. I think people underestimate how much $20 billion is, and the fact that we've seen Sony go and throw in so many big acquisitions that it's almost dumb to think that there's not going to be more in the near future. Granted, it kind of takes a while to do as well. As also, there's a lot of big mergers too as well mixed on in with other various places too as well. But overall, I do think that Sony's been doing phenomenal. And of course, too, as this article even mentions, there's a few places we could go focus more on growth, like Sony Music. You can literally go and have a chance to go and sign more artists, but I feel like it's more of an organic and slow growing thing. Funimation is a place that I think all of us can agree can go massive Like anime, animation, Crunchyroll, all these figures keep on going up and up and up and up and up and up. And up. Like you could like compared to like 10 years ago, there's so many people who are into anime. And the fact that they actually have both of these could make it be really good. And a lot of the big rumors too is that Funimation Crunchmage will join PS Plus as a permanent edition, which once again would be absolutely huge too as well. Plus with Sony Pictures, as we mentioned before, with them having a chance to include more huge AAA games to promote out their gaming industries and animations and stuff like that, could be very, very big. And same thing too as well with having them actually utilize things like such as having the Last of Us shows, Uncharted shows, and movies. Honestly, a PS Plus subscription could be a really, really good run around. So overall, we do have to agree that Sony has a lot of good potential in terms of growing, making money, and just basically acquiring a bunch of stuff. And with $20 billion on hand, there's a lot they can go and do. A little bit of a side note over here, there's actually really cool little rewards. So big congratulations to PlayStation itself for actually being voted for the best platform over there. So another little double whammy for that. There's some of the cool little things over here. Just want to throw it in there. But I want to hear all your thoughts and comments down below because it's kind of cool to kind of see like what is the inner workings of the PlayStation and as well of like what Sony's gonna be doing with their money, how they can expand, and what they can kind of do in the future. So leave your comments down below, give your comments down below in general. Make sure you guys are subscribed, the notifications on, smack that like button, Amazon links down below, Webull and Coinbase down below, and follow that Twitter and Twitch. And I'll see you guys in the next video later on today. Love you guys.